All right, you guys, it's Tuesday, a little after 12 o'clock Central. This is Walk Away Wealthy, formerly known as Anything But Average. We just recently changed the name of the podcast a couple of segments ago because we teamed up with Mission Matters Network, which is another podcasting network, and it gets us more views and more attention. And so we always like that. The purpose of the podcast, of course, is to bring you positive messages, success stories, because I believe that everybody has a story, and I believe that we are better together. We're not always talking about real estate, but we are often talking about real estate. So today we will be. And I'm super excited because I got Willie and Tikila here, and they are also in the real estate industry with me. And so I want them to be able to share a little bit of their story. They have a great story to tell. I know not because I've heard it personally, but because they have a great reputation and they're in the same kind of market that I am in. So it's good to have people here that I've never talked to before, because you guys are going to learn and I'm going to learn. So welcome, y'all.
Well, thank you for having us. We really do appreciate it.
Hey, heck yeah. Now, first of all, for people that don't know you guys, we get a lot of people watching from all over the world. So if you could tell everybody where you are in the world, what you do for a living, and how long you've been doing it, please.
Okay, we're Willie and Tikila Adolph. We are business partners since 2003. We work together, self-employed together. Right now, we are, I'm an associate broker here at Keller Williams Signature in Katy, Texas. And we have an awesome real estate team called the Adolph Group.
Correct. And saying that, we started in the industry on the mortgage side back in 2003. So we did that for quite some time. My wife ended up getting her license back in 2005, and I stuck with the mortgage. Then as life came, the bubble busting and everything else. So I ended up going into the banking, sticking with mortgages, but I was a branch manager at different banks. So we've been in the industry for, quite some time. And when the market really crashed, we looked at each other and said, okay, what do we do now?
We opened a daycare.
We opened up a daycare.
Together.
Yeah, so we did open up a daycare, which did very well in Katy. Matter of fact, and as we seen the market starting to really shift and turn, we sold the daycare, and it's still actively active as we speak. Yeah. So we got
back into real estate
full time. I also was doing credit repair, and I still currently am doing credit repair, bonded in all 50 states. And we're here to help people. It's not really about, selling homes and buying homes. It's about helping people with their lifestyle, helping them with their situations, because a lot of people, feel that they can't do it, but not understanding. So I don't go talk to people about buying and selling. I go into educating them.
Love that. All right. I want to pick apart a little bit of what you just said, because number one, again, I don't know their story. So I'm learning, you guys. So 2003, that's super cool. You've almost been doing this 20 years. Very rarely do I get to talk to somebody that's been in it as long as I have. So I'm happy to hear that. So in 2003, where did you guys start, and why real estate? What made you go there? Because it's a hard industry.
Well, in 2003, we worked for North Star Lending. We were both loan officers.
Okay.
During the height of the awesome, I still haven't seen that before.
Subprime.
The awesome subprime industry. You had a pulse, you had a loan, and we got you in the house. So we did that. And then as business grew, we were approached by Michael Leviton, and I got my real estate license under RE/MAX. Back then it was called ERA. So, and then Willie was the in-house mortgage loan officer there. And we continued to prosper during that time. That's basically, how we got started. And the reason why we got started wasn't for the money. It was because my husband and I were homeless. We went through several real estate transactions before getting into the mortgage industry without a real estate agent. And that hurt us on buying a new home because we lost our earnest money. It hurt us on renting a home because they kicked us out illegally and we didn't know what our rights were as tenants. So because we have 4 children, which now are 31, 21, twins are
20. So
twins are 20.
20.
Twins are 20. We have a 22-year-old and a 31-year-old and a new grandbaby that was just born
Yesterday.
I saw that. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So a lot of our stemmed on our experience on how we were treated unfairly and how people are still treated unfairly in the real estate market because they're getting taken advantage of not knowing their rights.
You know, for one, to see what you guys have built and now hearing that you were once homeless, I think is, wow, what a testimony and what a passion you must have and a drive, because if it could happen to y'all, it can happen to anybody. How long were y'all homeless?
Well, you know, when we say homeless, we were home. We didn't even have our own. So of course, I called my mom.
I would have too.
So you know, we stayed there for a few months.
Yeah.
Almost it was
about 6 months.
About 6 months.
Mhm.
In that, at that point in time, it was a struggle. Because my mom didn't have a big house to, for everything. So we was all in one room.
Yeah.
So it was, back and forth to work, and then at that time,
I was pregnant with the
she
twins.
was pregnant with the twins. So
Wow.
And I was still working.
So it was like we had, it's just like, people, when you have to do something, you will sacrifice whatever it is to get it.
Oh,
To a certain degree, of course.
Right.
But we said we have to do this. Yeah, my mom's like, yeah, you can stay as long as you want. But for me as a grown man and with a family, that's not something that I wanted, and definitely didn't want my kids to grow up and say, oh, well, why are you staying with your mom? So, I mean, I could stay with you too forever. So
yeah.
but, we just thank God for everything. We pray about it. We pray about everything and just kind of let God put things in our paths. And also take things out of our paths, because and that means people as well, because sometimes we have people in our ear that knows how to do everything, but never accomplished it themselves.
Yeah.
So it was kind of a scary moment, but we end up, finding something, and it worked out. It worked out real well.
How long have y'all been together?
Ooh.
Off and on, or maybe 32, 31
Oh
years.
my gosh. That's awesome. That's a long time.
Yeah.
Dang,
We'll
that is
be celebrating 23 years of marriage.
December
Wow.
December
31st. We got married 1999.
Yeah, New Year's Eve.
No, you did not. That's crazy. That's awesome. Okay, so listening to what you said with 2003. So in 2004, I got my loan officer's license, and I was a lender from 2004 to 2010. Wow. And so my ex-husband now, he was in real estate, and he worked for a big real estate team, and I was his lender, of course. So we had it going on right when that subprime stuff was. I mean, that was like amazing, right? We both had everything going good. And then the crash happened in 2008. When you guys went through that crash in 2008, what role were y'all both in?
We're both loan officers.
Well,
okay.
I was the
she
only
was the only real estate agent. But we were focusing a lot, on both, but mostly our bread and butter was the loans.
Oh yeah.
That's the role. And when it hit, we didn't believe that it was going to be as devastating as it was.
That it wasn't going to come back. We kept trying to pay things and stuff, and not realizing we should have just let it go, because it's not coming back.
So our savings, it was just like a tub full of water, and you unplug it. Our savings went just as fast.
Yes.
So it was tough.
Yeah.
When I went through that time, I also went through a divorce in 2008. It was the very same time through all that crap. And it was because it was like, we didn't know anything about this. We'd never seen anything like this crash before. And so you really didn't know how long it was going to last. And how the heck do you get through this? So for you guys, and again, thankfully, one of you were in real estate and only one of you were kind of doing loans. What was something that kind of pulled y'all through that and sustained you? Because a lot of people left the industry.
Being humble. My husband was approached from Wells Fargo, so he became a branch manager at Wells Fargo, and I started daycare and part time. My husband worked for the church, and then I worked for the church as well. So we knew to be humble and step back and analyze what we were grateful for. We all had our health and our children were healthy, and we asked the Lord, he could take everything away if he could just keep our health and our home. So our children weren't disturbed in home. So we humbled ourselves and said, we got to do what we got to do. And we didn't just give up. Now, we did not take our loan officer license, because that's when they started doing the test.
Yeah.
So we just kind of left that alone. By him working at Wells Fargo and me doing starting the daycare, we just kind of like, maybe that's the thing. Go into real estate. And then real estate was still on referrals. I still took my CE classes. I still kept my real estate license. And when people needed help with real estate, I was still able to give advice, without just dropping that all at once.
So then, Willie, when did you get your real estate license?
I actually got my real estate license in 2019. So,
wow. Okay.
Right. So the thing was that I focused a lot on credit repair. So I was going around to different builders, going around to different agents, going around to different loan officers, and just building that, the reputation, building the relationships, to help. And that was, basically it. And of course, we run across some customers that need some things. And, as my wife, as the real estate agent, we were still able to rock and roll. Well, we was approached, during the times and was like, hey, we want to join your team. We see how things are going. And then people was actually referring other agents to us. Mm-hmm. And my wife was like, I'm not going to do this if you're not going to get your license. I said, well, I'm still here. You have your license. I'm here. I'm doing this part. She was like, no, if we can't do it together, we're not going to do it.
Ooh,
so I took the classes, took the test. And then February of 2019, I got my license. So it was kind of like everything was kind of like a moving vessel, because it wasn't too much it was a lot that I still had to learn. But being in the industry and listening and watching, it wasn't like, I didn't really feel I was ever brand new to it, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Oh, for sure. So you were in all parts of it.
Right. So then we started with a small boutique. Once I got my license, we went to a small boutique, and we grew a team, and it just kept growing. And then, and I'm always going to be thankful for them to even give us the opportunity to have a team.
Shout out to Carl, Equity House Properties.
So we did do all that. And then at that time, it was just it was a time. And, when it's time to move, it's, God puts it on you and say, hey, so
seasons.
And so we're still good friends to this day. And the good thing is that when I did move, the right people came.
Yep.
So some people followed, some didn't. And, I'm not mad that the ones that didn't. It's best for what they had to do with their family.
That's
so
right.
And once we came to Keller Williams in 2021, in April, and now we're as of year to date, we have a total of 14 agents.
Wow.
And we cover, quite a huge footprint. So pretty good.
So have you guys always been in the Katy area?
So we always lived in the Katy area once we bought our first home.
Yeah.
Okay.
We lived on the south side. I've actually stayed all over. Prior to even getting married, my dad was in the military, so I'm a military brat. So I've traveled quite a bit, different states. I'm from Los Angeles, California. So I still have family. We still go visit. And like I said, it's fun. My wife is from Michigan, and, it was just faith.
Yeah.
So like listening to everything that you guys have been through, and then again, now we're in another shift in the market. Y'all are married and working together and gone through lots of trials and tribulations. How have y'all managed to, I mean, to me, y'all look like best friends. How have y'all managed to keep that together and keep your family, moving forward and thriving in such a crazy, volatile industry?
So you said it, best friends. We were always friends first. And that's even before marriage. He knew about my relationships. I knew about his relationships, and we were always friends. So when we got married, even when the times got tough, I would look and say, well, I wouldn't do that to my best friend. Even though I was like, oh, I can't stand you. But who else am I going to trust all my money to, my life with? And just everyday talk and relationships. We have that communication. And I think people don't realize that until they see us on social media and they're like, oh my God, I want a tequila. Oh my God, I want a Willie. No, you really don't, because we kind of grew into and grew up with each other where nobody else can deal with us. So that's it. I think that's it. Friendship, and respect and communication. Because when we started hiding things from us and not communicating, it caused a rift in our relationship, which caused a rift with our family, which caused a rift with our business. So now there's big issues. We just decided that we were going to talk through everything, no matter what we thought or assumed that the other person would do or say. And then we respected each other's decisions. Especially it's hard when we're working together, because it seems like we're together all the time.
Right. And so normally, like in a partnership or a team or whatever, there's somebody that has like significant roles and significant things that they do. And so Willie, since you were like last one coming into this equation in 2019, and you were the credit repair guy, how has your roles changed since you got your license? Are they different? Is one person like the visionary, one person's like the integrator? How's that work?
Our thing is, I'm the people's person. I'm going to go out there. I'm going to create. I'm going to get. My wife is the paperwork. She make sure all the I's are dotted, T's are crossed, commas, and all that good stuff.
Most definitely.
So it kind of works hand in hand. She don't like too much of social. She's not the social butterfly all the time. It may seem like it, but she's really not that much of it. That would be more of me. So I'm always ready to go out there, do what I have to do to get the business to a certain extent, and to make sure that, right. And then make sure, all the paperwork is done, and that's, something that she takes care of. So I guess she does what I don't like, and I do what she don't like.
Exactly.
So during the whole process, even during the COVID times, a lot of people was doing different things from, having babies, getting married, getting divorced, doing all kinds of stuff. We actually started TV shows. Yeah. So we actually have TV shows as well.
Really?
Yeah, Reality Check with the Adolphs and Bring on the Day. I also have another show coming out called Walk with Will. So
no way. That's super cool.
We have a Roku TV network.
We also have a Roku TV network, as Res TV. So we've learned to do other things, but it was something that we agreed on, something that we can have fun with, as well. And these platforms is not about us. It's about everybody else. We bring different, people in, as you do, to talk about different topics, about health, wellness, driving trucks, mechanics, airplane. It don't matter what they do. So we do a lot of that stuff as well.
How long have y'all been doing that? So I did not know about that. I'm gonna have to look y'all up.
Yeah, since 2020. During COVID, we went to, expand. How can we serve others? And that's all it is. You do right by others, God will bless you. So the way we could serve others is putting them and showcasing them and advertise them on our TV shows. Now, Bring on the Day is a Christian ministry show, but Reality Check and Walk with Will is more about helping and advertising others people's businesses. And Walk with Will is geared toward real estate in the community.
Right. So it's more of, like, as I said before, it's not about us helping people buy a home, sell a home. We want to be a source of resources.
Mhm.
So you can have anybody as an agent to a certain extent. We will help you with certain things.
Exactly.
If they do have an agent, I definitely won't say talk to them about real estate, but if they have credit questions, I definitely will help them with that. I have a lot of friends, well, now a lot of real estate companions that actually send me their people for credit. And as soon as it's ready, I send it back to them. So
Yeah.
it's kind of like, for me, it's magical because I love people, and I think that's the whole thing.
But
Well,
you
and
can't stay in the, oh,
go
sorry. I
ahead.
was just saying, you can't stay in the business without your integrity. So that's one thing that by us having a longevity in the real estate industry, we have strong integrity on how we treat people and how we treat our clients and other people's clients.
Well, too, I think, in the real estate industry, we like fuel the economy. And when things come to a screeching halt like they have right now, that's not a good thing because there's 26 different vendors that are affected by us not selling homes. And I
Mhm.
think the fact that you do credit repair, a lot of people don't understand that, but it's like, if your credit's terrible, you're not getting in the house. And this is critical. And there's so many people out there that claim to fix people's credit or help them, but then they really don't. They
Right.
actually hurt them further. And I
Hmm.
think that's like one of the biggest things that you can do because you're so helping our industry.
Right. And the thing is, a lot of people, when I talk to people about credit, it's not even to purchase a home, because credit has a big play in your daily life. People, you can't even rent a home. You Certain jobs have certain credit criteria. Your insurance company, you know, things that you've seen, like buying a car,
Yeah.
uh, life insurance. There's so much
Everything.
that credit has a play in that a lot of people don't really realize. Using what utilities, you have to have a certain credit so you don't get,
Yes.
triple double. You can get turned down for alarm security because
Mhm.
your credit score is not at a
Exactly.
certain.
Yeah.
So credit is more of a lifestyle for people, and that's, I'm not here. I'm here to protect everybody's future. It's not trying to get them to purchase a home. It's just to protect what they have
Mhm.
and educate them and let them know, hey, you worked hard to get here. You have to learn to take care of it. Because if you don't, you're going to be seeing me again.
Exactly.
For sure. Now, with you guys with 14 agents, and that's a team, y'all, that's a big team for you guys that aren't paying attention. That's a good sized team. What are the dynamics? Because I know too, on my side, it's like it's not always easy to be in charge of people and to be there for people. What are you guys doing to help grow that? And how has that kind of changed the way you look at the industry and your business?
So what we do, the dynamics is simple. It's the values. It's what, it's not always about, who can sell the most homes. Is how many people can you really help? How many people can you serve?
Yeah.
So a lot of people come in, they grow these teams and looking at their bottom line number. That's when you go into it that route. Sometimes it can backfire. So yeah, of course, everything has to do with money to a certain extent, but we also have to make sure that the people that we hire and that's a part of us, they are a mesh. As I tell everybody on the team, we're unique. We're a totally different team. I don't really look at everybody as another agent. We actually are family. We do family events together. We do family. When I say family, it's not just the agents, but it's also their spouses, their kids, whoever they with, let's do outings. And a lot of time it's just that bonding, just to know who we are, because especially as being married, we know that sometimes if your spouse is not in the industry, they don't understand. They
Yes.
don't understand that I have to go talk to the opposite sex for so long or be around them. You don't have to, pick up the phone and talk to this person. Then all of a sudden you're laughing because it's like, okay, it's building a relationship. And then sometimes your spouse gets jealous and be like, why are you being so nice to them? Or I have to be gone all day. I have to keep going to all these houses. I got to do this. I got to do that. My team needs me to do this. My team needs me to do that.
Mhm.
So bringing the spouses in to let them know that, hey, this is who we are. This is our dynamics, and this is our family. Everybody, is not a fit. We're not a fit for everybody, and everybody's not a fit for us. So, that's basically in a nutshell who we are.
And then we know our roles. The team knows that anything dealing with contracts and paperwork, that they must come through me, and getting leads and marketing and, talking to different people a certain way, they go through Willie. So establishing those roles, you kind of get 2 in 1 when you become a part of our team. So it's not just being a part of a real estate team, it's being a part of a family where you have a mother and a father that's going to help you and protect you.
I love that. That was awesome. I've been in real estate a long time, like you guys have, and I believe that the failure rate is higher than it's ever been, which I think is super sad. Like when we were all first in real estate, there were teams, but they were really like small teams. It was mostly like solo agents forever.
Mm-hmm.
However, in the last 2, 3, 4 years, the mega teams and the big teams have been blowing up and they've been taking over the industry. And I believe that we're going to continue to see more of that. What's y'all's thoughts on that?
I think you're going to see a lot more of it. And just for the fact, because a lot of people that get into real estate, especially the newer ones, you do have some veterans that I'm going to say lose their mojo. They lost their why. They lost their spunk. They lost why they really want to get in it. They, it's just being around positive people, a different atmosphere, learning the lingo and stuff like that. So I think you're going to see more teams, but you're going to also see a lot of teams having revolving doors, because some of them are not really caring about the person as an individual. Mm-hmm. They're looking at them as how many transactions are you going to have by the end of the quarter. Mm-hmm. So it's going to be, it's going to be a give and take. I always suggest to people to do try on their own to see what it's like. So when they do join a team, they have something to compare it to.
Yeah. People that don't know our industry and don't live with us and see how much we work, I call them the lunch bunch, the real estate agents that go out there and they go to all these free lunches and the free happy hours and they don't ever sell anything, but they're a real estate agent. And it makes us look really bad. Those that are working 24/7, it's like, y'all don't see, I'm working till midnight and I'm back up at 4 a.m. doing it again. People don't understand that, but we have to. And it's like, if someone asks me sometimes, why do you get up and do, or how do you get up and do what you do every day? And I said, because number one, I got a family to feed. And number two, if I don't, who does? I got to be a role model. So do y'all. You got to practice what you preach. I'm here for the long term. This isn't any quick fix, and it's not a get rich overnight thing. Real estate is the long game, and we got to be in this. Our industry changes in an instant, just like it just did, like the stock market did. And so you guys going from lending, going through the first crash, what are you seeing is different this time around as we have shifted than in 2008, 9, and 10 when it shifted?
Well, in 2008 and 2009, 7, 8, 9, it's a big difference, because back then it was more of the type of loans that were given out. It was, when you have somebody that no income, no assets, all you have to do is have a credit score. Here's your house, 100% financing. It gets tough. And that was like, you get a house, you get a house, you get a house. Everybody gets a house.
Oh, yeah.
Then you had, the predatory lending where people were not explaining the situation of arms, and even I see arms are coming back, and, I stay in my lane, but at the same time, I also associate myself with loan officers with the same work value, work ethics, and integrity, because I want our clients to understand what's the pros and what's the cons, because putting somebody on a 2-year arm, say, okay, you got 2 years to do this, this, and this. Okay, what happens after that 2 years? Back then when the industry did bust, a lot of people was on 2-year arms with a 3-year prepay. And they was like, what does that mean? That means, well, your rate's going to shoot up probably anywhere between 5 to 8%. And if you try to refinance, there's going to be a prepayment because you paid it off too early. Mm-hmm. So it's like you got hit with double whammy, and nobody explained that to the clients. Yeah. And that's where a lot of people failed to understand. And that was one of the things. What we're seeing now is totally different. I'll call it Corona rates. I'm not going to call it interest rate.
I love that.
It was Corona rates. And the reason why I say that is because the economy and the world faced something that no one has ever faced before. Mm-hmm. So even though they had movies about it, but they never really faced it as a whole, where you were scared to even walk outside. And it was just like real crazy. And the way that everything was, they had to feed back into the economy. So of course, who do they call? Real estate, because real estate, like you said, is the fuel. And we still have, and don't get me wrong, our truckers, I love them because they're huge, because they're the ones that provide the food and get a lot of stuff to us as well. But when you're feeding into the economy, they get the interest rates so low as they did, that did allow people to manage where they live, because when people had to work from home, they realized my home is not functional.
Yes.
I don't have a functional home. I just have a place to lay my head and call it home.
Yep.
So things start changing. And then, of course, the industry is like, oh, well, if this is what we need to hurry up and produce more. Now, next thing you know, everything started going. And then, in a sense, it did kind of get a little out of control, but it did rise. And people are failing to realize that today's interest rates are the same as 2019. Same thing.
Oh,
And people are not realizing that now we're, as everybody say, back to normal. This is normal.
Yeah.
So now their interest rates are going up to slow down the pace of homes going up. And they're saying, well, we're just going to wait for interest rates to, for homes to drop now. Well, it's just like, I don't really want to tell my age, but back when I was in high school, it was like 89 cents gas and 99. So now it's
okay. It's a big difference.
So we're looking, at one point we jumped up to $4 or $5, but then the average gas price now is anywhere from, we're looking at $3.50 to $3.99 at this point, but it never went back down to 99 cents.
No.
So the way that the economy is going is now they're having everything, the market to, level out, and the market is correcting itself, So now you're going to see, and it's not just from new home sales, it's home sales across the board, that you're going to see that it's going to be back to market, to where now it's not, hey, I want that house. No, I want it. Well, I got more money than you. Well, how much more? Well, let's keep adding on. So you're not going to see so much of that anymore. They're still lingering out there at certain price points, but everything now is going to be managing off. And the same people that waited from 2 years ago, now they're paying the price of having to pay this whole lot more interest rate. And now they're saying, okay, we're just going to wait. But what's going to happen if people really follow it within the end of the year? They're saying interest rates are going to be even higher. So you waited another 6 months. Now the interest rates are even higher, because every time that, interest rates go up 1%, you lose 10% of buying power. So whoever got pre-approvals, say 60 days ago, you might want to get it updated, because rates have changed and you may not be able to be approved for that amount.
So when you saw like the spike in housing appreciation, which here in Houston, we're usually like 2.9 to 3.4 appreciation. We haven't been for the last 2 years. It went out of control and crazy. And I believe the people that are going to suffer the most are the first time home buyers, because they basically got priced out of being able to buy a home, because they couldn't compete with all these people that were throwing $30, $40, $80,000 over their offer. It's like, seriously, this is out of control.
Right.
Totally out of control.
Exactly.
That had to come to a stop.
Right. And I agree with you. That's something that, it's getting back under control, but, it is still a little tough for first-time home buyers, depending on their situation. So, but there are programs out there that can help. There's educational programs that a lot of them really just need to sit into a class and understand the whole process. There's no, they do have 100% programs, but it's in different areas, rural pockets and whatever. But at the same time, everything has a price. People look at down payment assistance, but of course, you're still going to have to pay to get it, even though they say you don't pay it back. In a sense, they do. But it's just so much, it's so much in tune that goes into it. But first-time home buyers will have their opportunities. Seeing new home constructions, they're actually helping. They're helping to feed back into the economy. Certain builders are giving incentives to, buy down the rate so it can make it affordable. But, you have to make sure the right agent that can do that for you and to help you and help walk through, like yourself and ourselves.
Heck yeah. So for y'all's personal predictions, what do you think the interest rates are going to do? Do you think they're going to maintain? Do you think they're going to dip a little bit? What's your thoughts?
Well, just going through the forecast and kind of keeping, what's going on. They say they probably hit up to about around the sevens. And once you do get around the sevens, that's gonna, everybody's like, oh wow, the sevens is never gonna do. When I bought my house, I had to buy it down to a six, and that was in 2003. So sevens is very, very seeable, but we can only go by what the prediction's saying and what the gurus are really predicting.
It's kind of scared a lot of people. It has made people like stop buying right now. They're like, I'm not going to buy right now. I'm going to wait. I'm going to
Right.
wait for home values to come down. I'm going to wait for interest rates to come down. It's like, all right, something's got to give, you guys. What do you think home values are going to do? Do you think they're going to maintain, or do you think we'll see a little bit of a decrease in home value?
So home value is going to actually stay the same, and then they're going to, instead of skyrocketing up, they're still going to go up anywhere between 5 to 8% per year.
I love that. You guys listen to his projections. You got to take notes of all this stuff. And I always like to end our show with giving somebody success tips and strategies to help them grow their business. Because right now, especially for those single agents that really don't have a support system, they don't have anyone to lean on, they're on their own right now. And there's shiny object syndrome. There's always somebody that's got, the best CRM and the best lead gen strategy and la, la, la. And it's like, really, you need to pay attention to who you're paying attention to and what you're paying attention to.
Exactly.
So for you guys, y'all run a successful business. Y'all have years of history. You've been in lending, you've been in credit repair, you're in sales, you're managing, you're leading. What would you say to real estate agents? What are top 3 things they could do to get them through this tough market that we're in right
now? Number 1, under promise and over deliver. And keep your integrity. Just say what you can do and what you can't do. And when you don't know anything, tell them you don't know. Yeah. A lot of people will work with you if you're brand new, if you just be honest with them. And I think integrity is a big thing, because in this market, the consumers are very wise on Googling on what we should get paid and what we should be doing and not doing. But we need to stand up for ourselves and keep integrity. And then that way they'll choose you regardless on whatever your fees are or whatever you're doing, because you're standing by your word.
Yep.
Was that number 1?
That was.
Yeah. All right. So number 2. Hey, well, I just got to make a long answer. No, I'm just playing. So number 2 is study your market. And when I mean study your market, that means learn your craft, find out what's going on. You have so many gurus out there. Who do you believe?
Yeah.
First thing, go to your association, wherever you're at, and look up what's going on. Go to your matrix. It tells you what's on the market, what's been sold, how long things are going. Do your reports. And if you don't know how, ask your broker. Ask your broker. And if they don't know how, then, we might have some issues there. But you want to make sure, you surround yourself with people that's better than you, because the thing is, you can always learn from someone else. And number 3
is what Gary Keller always says: know your one thing. What is your why? What one thing are you concentrating on? Stop going all over the place. If you want to serve others in the one thing and be an expert in it. Me and Willie can do plenty of things. And because we're a licensed real estate agent, we can sell land, commercial, whatever. But our why is for the residential customers. So best believe that's the one thing we're going to be number 1 at.
Yeah. And on a bonus tip is stay patient. Don't cut corners.
Exactly.
Because it's, it may look easy. It may seem right because you can get paid faster, but it'll catch up with you. It may not catch up with you tomorrow or next week or next month, but it can come back to you in a year, 2 years. And guess what? You may not be in a position to handle what the consequences are.
Exactly.
Oh, I love that. That was a good one. Everything y'all say is good. I freaking love your drive, your energy, your passion, everything. One more thing. So again, you guys are married. Y'all are best friends. Y'all got a successful business. What's your secret to that? Because people out there, so not everybody can work together. Y'all can.
Right. really is keeping God
Communication.
is God first.
God first.
So
Communication.
so the thing is, you keep God first, and you pray about everything, because you're gonna get different things. Communication, and be careful who you listen to.
You talk to
and who you talk to, because it's funny how, when somebody is single and they're not happy, they have all these advices which you can do. You could do this on your own. Don't do this. I wouldn't take this, yada yada yada. But then when they blew up, oh, I gotta ask such and such. I got. So now all of a sudden they doing what you say not to do. So it's like, it's all about communication and making sure that you guys are on the same page. Are you going to agree with everything? Of course not. I like bald. She like long hair. So,
I'm out here to make sure it stay long.
So, I don't think she would go bald, and I don't think I'll wear hair. So it's like, so we definitely don't agree on everything, but we talk about everything. So, and that's just one of the things. And because you disagree doesn't mean that you got to separate. It's like, okay, well, you disagree. Okay, that's your opinion. Yeah. You have your opinion. I have mine. So it's not really all that serious. So, and just remember this, everybody say, do what you did. What they say, do what you did to get her, and you continue to do that to keep her. But see, everybody don't really, when you fine tune that, you have to realize, what did you do? So let's say 20 years ago, she liked flowers. She liked this. She likes that. So I've been doing it for 20 years. Guess what? She got tired. She grew up. Her taste buds changed. So now I have to go back and date her, recreate the whole scene of, who are you? And you have to continue to do that, because at the flip of a dime, it's just like, she may go with short hair. Now I got to know who she is again. But it's just that the thing is, you dated, you took the time to find out what they like, what they have interest in, what they don't like. What I like today is not the same thing I liked 20 years ago.
For sure.
So,
yeah. And then my last piece about relationships is compromise. A lot of women so I consider myself a boss lady. I still am a boss lady.
You are.
But I realized that my place is a wife first. So my husband comes first, and I can say I can do one of all of these things, but it just takes one thing from Willie to say, you're not doing that. And I would say, guys, I'm not doing it. So that's kind of like kept us together.
And
too.
She actually has a book. She didn't tell you that.
I have
she's
an
author
of a book. It's called
Amazon. What's it? Amazon bestseller.
Yeah.
What's the name of the book?
Boss Lady.
Yeah, exactly.
Just type in Amazon Boss Lady or Tikila Adolph, and it's a collaboration with 9 other women, and we describe what we went through and how we continue to stay to be boss ladies.
When did you do that?
Sure.
Last year. I wrote it in December. It got published in February. And in March, we had a book signing. In March.
April, May, it became
and then May, it became international bestseller.
Oh my gosh, that is so cool. Congratulations. You should have been saying that from the go. That is so cool. You all need to check them out for sure. Hey, where can they learn more about you guys, to all of our listeners?
The best way is you can Google us on hashtag the Adolphs, or we have a link called lowercase bit.ly/the Adolphs, TheAdolphs, not F. I don't know. People always add F Tikila. Yeah. There's no F. It's the Adolphs.
And where can they find your TV shows?
Actually, through that link, it's a Linktree link that has everything about us, all of everything that we do. Our TV shows is on Roku. The channel is called the Res TV Network. And also we have YouTube channels for Reality Check with the Adolph and Bring on the Day. We still have Walk with Will in production.
That is so cool. Bring on the Day. How often are you doing new content on that?
Well, we took a year off on TV simply because we wanted to concentrate on real estate more. So the last episode was shot last year, but all of the episodes are on YouTube and on the Roku network. We will go back into production on all 3 of our TV shows next year.
I love that. Bring on the day. And I know we're supposed to be closing because the time's up, but I know when Bring on the Day, like you start your day, I think, and we'll just talk about this for just a second because I think it's critical how you start your day. How do both of you start your day and what time does that start?
It starts between 4:30 and 4:45 every morning because of the daycare where we had to be there and open at 5:30. It just kind of ingrained into us to wake up that early. So we have 2 things that we stop and do. When we get up, we have a gratitude journal. And so we write the 5 things we're grateful for. And then after that, we write 1 affirmation each day. So that's 1 journal. And then the second part, it just depends on the time. We kind of talk to each other, find out what our day is, what we have planned through our planners. And yeah, we're old school. So he don't like to tell his age. I'm proud to say I'm 50 years old. I have to still write stuff down. So we write stuff down on our calendar because sometimes people connect with him or to connect with me and we forget to put it down on our schedules in our phone. So we do that. We walk our dogs. And if we have a lot of time, we go to the gym, but we haven't had time. And then we're here at the office most of the time.
No, I'm out.
He's in the field.
But y'all start your morning early. You're up early. You're doing it together. You're starting in positivity. You're starting with affirmations. I think that's so critical. And I think so many people get up and the first thing they do is grab their phone on their social media. And it's like, why are you going into that world? That's the fake world. You guys got to get real with your own world, you know?
Right.
Exactly.
Because sometimes it can be depressing because you'll wake up, and I don't mean to go long, but it's real quick. I have friends that'll wake up, see somebody else's lifestyle and wish that was theirs, and now they're depressed the rest of the day. I tell them to go back to sleep and start over.
Start the day.
Same.
Well, we go to bed early.
Yeah, we do
so
go
around
to bed.
9 or 10 o'clock, we're in the bed.
Yeah, 10 o'clock, I'm out. That's
so good, though. It's healthy. That's a healthy lifestyle, y'all. More people should live like you guys do. I'm so thankful that y'all were on today. You guys listening out there in the world and y'all that are going to listen to this on repeat and listen to this again, these people are real. Like they've been through a lot. They're doing great and wonderful things. Listen to all the things that they're doing. Y'all need to engage with them because they're going to help everybody out there. They're out there just being real and transparent. No other way.
Well, we really thank you for allowing us to be on your platform as well.
Yes,
we really appreciate it. Thank you.
We're better together, y'all.
That's right.
That's right.
Y'all tune in. We're here every Tuesday, 12 o'clock Central. Make sure and reach out to the Adolphs. Y'all have an awesome day.
All right, you too.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Bye.